Have you ever marveled at the hidden complexities of your dog's behavior and physiology? I remember a day with Max, my Labrador, when his actions made me realize there's so much more to our canine companions than meets the eye. Whether it was the way he smiled at me, or how he reacted to distant sounds. It was clear that the world of dogs is filled with fascinating intricacies. Dogs, beloved by many as loyal pets, possess a depth of behavior and physical abilities that go far beyond their roles in our homes. From their nuanced communication methods to their exceptional sensory capabilities, they continually surprise and intrigue us. I was amazed to learn about dogs' mathematical abilities, and I decided to test this with my lab Max. One day, I showed Max 2 treats before hiding them under a blanket. After a moment, I sneakily removed one and let him find the remaining treat. His reaction was one of confusion and curiosity. Max sniffed around, searching for that second treat he clearly remembered seeing. This little experiment revealed Max's ability to understand basic math concepts, like counting and noticing discrepancies in quantity. It was a small but eye-opening insight into canine cognition, showing that dogs like Max have a grasp of numbers and changes in their environment. Have you ever noticed your dog showing signs of understanding basic math, or being aware of changes in their environment? Continuing with my exploration of Max's fascinating canine abilities, I discovered something extraordinary about his nose. It wasn't just about his incredible sense of smell, but also about the uniqueness of his nose print. Much like human fingerprints, no 2 dog nose prints are the same. This revelation was both intriguing and practical. When I learned about an app in development that could use a dog's nose print for identification, it struck me as a groundbreaking tool. I imagined how this technology could revolutionize finding lost pets, including dogs like Max. The potential for such an app to quickly and accurately reunite lost dogs with their worried owners seemed like a significant step forward in pet safety and care. This insight into the uniqueness of Max's nose print added another layer of appreciation for the complexity and individuality of our canine companions. Have you ever considered your dog's nose print as a unique identifier? Max's unique way of cooling down was yet another aspect of his canine physiology that fascinated me. During our summer walks, I noticed he didn't sweat like humans. Instead, he panted. This panting allowed him to cool off by evaporating water from his respiratory system. His paws, though they contained sweat glands, played a minimal role in this process. Then there was the mystery of his perpetually wet nose. I learned that this wasn't just a random trait, but a vital part of his incredible sense of smell. The moisture on his nose helped him absorb scent particles. When Max licked his nose, he transferred these particles to the Jacobson's organ, located above the roof of his mouth, which significantly enhanced his smelling capabilities. Understanding these distinctive ways in which Max cooled down and used his sense of smell gave me a deeper appreciation of the intricacies of dog physiology. Reflecting on Max's early life, I was amazed by the development of his senses. Like all puppies, Max was born deaf and blind, an entirely different beginning compared to humans. For the first 2 weeks, his world was dark, and for 3 weeks, it was silent. During this time, his sense of smell was his guiding light, far more developed than his other senses. This reliance on scent from such an early stage played a significant role in how Max interacted with the world around him. It was a reminder of the unique ways dogs experience their environment, particularly in the formative days. As Max grew, so did his intellectual capacity, something I witnessed every day in his learning and behavior. The comparison of a dog's intelligence to that of a 2-year-old human became more evident. Max, much like an average dog, learned a significant number of words and commands. His ability to understand and respond to these was not just a display of obedience, but a sign of his cognitive abilities. The feats of dogs like Chaser the Border Collie, who knew over 1,000 words, further underscored the remarkable learning capacity of dogs. Observing Max's learning process and intellectual growth was a constant source of wonder, highlighting the depth of canine intelligence. Have you noticed similar traits of learning and intelligence in your dog? Share how your canine companion surprises you with their cognitive abilities. As Max grew, I not only marveled at his physical and intellectual developments, but also at his emotional world. One aspect that stood out was his capacity for complex emotions like jealousy. I noticed this when I petted other dogs. Max would nudge his way in, seemingly asking for equal, if not more, attention. A study from Hungary confirmed this observation, showing that dogs indeed feel jealousy, especially with their owners giving attention to other dogs. This highlighted just how deep and human-like the emotional bond can be between dogs and their owners. Our emotional connection was also evident in our sleeping habits. Max, like many dogs, loves sleeping in bed with me. According to the American Kennel Club, around 45% of dogs sleep with their owners, which is more than a comfort-seeking behavior. This shared sleeping space fostered a stronger bond, building a deeper sense of trust and emotional security between us. Understanding Max's emotional depth transformed the way I viewed our relationship. It was more than just owner and pet, it was a complex, emotionally rich partnership. Do you notice these emotional nuances in your dog? How do they enhance your bond? Max, like all dogs, had his own set of unique physical traits that never ceased to fascinate me. One such peculiarity involved the baculum, an extra bone present in male dogs. This bone, intriguingly less dense than others, plays a role in reproduction, providing support during mating. Learning about this distinct feature in canine anatomy gave me a deeper appreciation for the complexity and adaptability of dog physiology. But perhaps the most curious discovery about dogs, and Max in particular, was their pooping habits in relation to Earth's magnetic field. A European study revealed that dogs might prefer to align themselves with the Earth's magnetic field lines when defecating. Observing Max, I noticed that he often positioned himself in specific directions, which, as per the study, could be an indication of his sensitivity to Earth's magnetism. These unique physical traits, from the baculum to the intriguing pooping habits, highlighted just how intricately dogs are tuned to their environment and nature. Have you observed any unusual or distinct physical traits or behaviors in your dog that left you amazed? Exploring Max's quirks and unique traits became an intriguing part of understanding him better. One area I delved into was his paw preference. Through simple tests like the Kong test, and observing which paw he used first to step forward, I discovered Max had a dominant paw, much like humans have a dominant hand. This preference was evident in how he stabilized toys or initiated his movement. Another fascinating aspect of Max's anatomy was his eyes, specifically his third eyelid. This nictitating membrane, not always visible, was essential for eye protection and moisture. It moved sideways across his eye, a feature quite different from our own eyelids. But perhaps one of the most amusing discoveries was the phenomenon of Frito feet. I had occasionally noticed a corn chip-like smell from Max's paws. This scent, often surprising to dog owners, is due to natural bacteria mixed with moisture in their paw pads. Realizing this was a normal, harmless characteristics of dogs, like Max, added another layer to the canine mystery. Continuing my journey in understanding Max, I became intrigued by his facial expressions, especially what appeared to be his smile. Initially, I thought these smiles were always signs of happiness. I learned that canine expressions are more complex. I realized that interpreting these smiles required looking at Max's overall body language. A panting dog with a wide mouth might not always be smiling out of joy. Sometimes, Max would pant when stressed or uncomfortable. When he bared his teeth, it wasn't always aggression. It could have been fear or nervousness. This understanding changed how I read Max's emotions and intentions. I learned to pay attention to his posture, tail position, ear orientation, and eye contact, which, combined with his facial expressions, gave me a clearer picture of his feelings. Decoding the canine smile and other expressions is a subtle art that requires context and awareness of their body language. Do you find it challenging to interpret your dog's facial expressions? As my adventures with Max have shown, every day with a dog is a day filled with discovery and wonder. From understanding the subtleties of their emotions and communication to marveling at their unique physiological traits, dogs like Max are a treasure trove of surprises. Their complexity goes far beyond what we see on the surface, revealing a rich tapestry of behaviors, instincts, and quirks that make each one truly special. This journey into the depths of canine behavior and physiology is an ongoing process of learning and appreciation. It's a path that brings us closer to understanding these incredible beings who share our lives, enriching our experiences with them. To my fellow dog owners and enthusiasts, I extend an invitation to continue this exploration. Let's keep unraveling the mysteries of our canine friends, deepening our bonds with them, and ensuring their well-being. What unique or surprising traits have you discovered in your dog? How have these insights enhanced your relationship? Join the conversation and share your own stories of discovery and connection with your beloved dogs.